All right, we're going to react to Game 3 of Blue Jays Mariners because I did not have time to watch the game tonight. Let's have fun watching these highlights. Blue Jays down 2-0, having to come back off a really solid Mariners pitching staff. You know, I thought the Blue Jays were going to do this, especially at home. All the pressure of playing in front of a home crowd with a pennant on the line, or at least an ALCS on the line. You know, this Blue Jays team was built to win the East. They were built specifically to beat my Yankees, and they very much did that. And now that main task, that big task they've been chasing the whole year of beating the Yankees is in the rear view. I said this in my playoff prediction video. I worry about the Blue Jays in this series, and now they're down 2-0, having to head back to Seattle against the team chasing its first ever World Series appearance. It's a really, really tall task for the Toronto Blue Jays, so let's see how they get on.
And then rode to the 2-0 lead in this series. You talked about their ERA and their pitching.
Julio and Cal have been coming through like crazy.
They're tough to beat.
We're going to find
George
out
Kirby
what
on the mound for Seattle in this game.
They were made of
Man,
a bunch
Toronto
of offense
needs
against
this
the
one.
Yankees. They steamrolled through the division series, but they've been stymied through 2 games here.
That offense needs
Shane
to get
Bieber for the Blue Jays.
Base,
George Springer, of course. George Springer with some big hits in this series. One of the only Blue Jays who's been good at this series so far. And it's Big Randy Johnson, the big unit. The lefty. A little more overhand than we're used to from Randy Johnson. Throwing the first pitch to Logan Gilbert. Love to see it.
Get him out of the game before it even starts. This is George Kirby.
See if Seattle can get some pitching. I'm a big George Kirby guy. 14 Ks in the postseason in 2 starts. And it's a home start for him in Game 3.
As the games have gotten bigger, he's gone to another level.
He has, and he's going to throw a lot of fastballs, which is refreshing when we have an industry that throws the least amount of fastballs. But he's going to do it a variety of ways, and look for that sinker to be a big part of the game. He has great secondary stuff. Well, it starts with Springer, and he is really good at igniting a team right from the leadoff spot. So look for some aggression early for
lead off AB for George Springer. Let's see what Springer can do off Kirby. First inning.
That's a bouncing ball to third, sized up by Suarez. First out of the ball game. One away in this first inning. Nathan Lucas. He begins this game with 2 quickouts.
Yeah, man, Kirby with the fastball. The Blue Jays are going to have to get on that fastball hitting shit. That's what they do. That's what makes the Blue Jays good. They did it against the Yankees, and they're not doing it in this series, hitting the fastball. They got to learn how to hit the fastball. They got to start hitting the fastball, or they're going to be down 3-0. Absolutely has to happen. George Kirby's got a good one. Vladdy, yeah, 0 for 7. Like I said, man, we knew he was going to do this. We knew Vlad was going to do this. Knock us out of the playoffs. Knock the Yankees out of the playoffs. Now he's 0 for 7. Now the pennant's on the line. Nah, no big deal. Let me just go 0 for 7 real quick.
A couple hours ago that he sees Vlad getting more and more comfortable being the guy, and never have they needed the guy to be that more than they do right now.
Guerrero with a high
ground ball, third base. Gino. Ooh, he missed it. Oh, did it go in the dugout? Yeah, second base.
Guerrero will get second base for free on what could go as an infield hit, but will definitely go as an error on a
tough play for Suarez.
Well, I think Suarez, who made a great play to actually come up with that baseball, had more time than he
little
initially
snow cone
thought.
spins, fires, but it's in the dirt. Naylor can't get it. It's got to get his hand out of the way too with Big Vladdy coming in. And Santander, I saw this. The Blue Jays just so confused about their cleanup spot throughout the playoffs, like a lot of teams have been. A lot of weird cleanup hitters in the playoffs. Don't know if Santander would necessarily be the best guy, but he's a more likely candidate for a traditional cleanup hitter than most of the guys that the Blue Jays have been putting out there. And he's got 2 home runs in his career off Kirby.
They missed last game with a lower back tightness and really has not hit this year. He's homered against Kirby twice.
Swing and a
came out. Nice breaking pitch from George Kirby.
Shane Bieber for the Blue Jays.
See how the Mariners do off Bieber.
On his first start of the postseason, where he only lasted 2 2/3 at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Shane Bieber's a lot of his success against the
Yeah, Shane Bieber's a guy I haven't really been too sold on in a Blue Jays uniform. Obviously, Cy Young guy in Cleveland and has struggled since. But I mean, you know, he's still a name you like to see up there in a playoff game. There are for sure worse options out there if you in a must-win though, man, on the road.
Game 2, walked him with the base or with nobody out in the runner at second.
Cal Raleigh.
5th inning. Fly ball the
Fly
other
ball.
way for Lucas. On the move into foul ground.
It's left field, gets it over the line.
Chugging back to first, way too close. He's in there okay. Julio Rodriguez, who reached base 3 times in the first game, had the home run to get him up like he did in game 2. There goes
Julio. Rosarena stealing, safe. Down to second base. Mariners getting something going here in the first inning, looks like.
He's wreaked havoc.
Yellow shoes on Randy. Going to third. No. Ding dong. 2-0 Mariners. That is not what you want in the first inning for the Blue Jays. Julio again, man. Julio's killing him. Things are looking sunny in Seattle. Maybe sunnier than they have ever been. Hasn't ever been so sunny for the Mariners. Up 2-0 in an ALCS and up 2-0 in Game 3. Are they about to cruise to a 3-0 series lead? They might be about to be mighty, mighty close to a World Series. A lot closer to a World Series than we ever thought they'd be. What a bomb by Julio. Polanco.
Not gonna get there.
And the gap. Ground rule double.
It is a party in Seattle already.
And they keep it rolling. Ooh, swung the bat. Strike 3 in the pop-up. So, hey, Toronto gets out of the inning. Big shot from Julio, but they get out of it. We skipped the top of the second, bottom 2. Mariners back up. Strike 3. Chased it. They're chasing that breaking shit.
He's had the breaking ball working a little bit better here.
They're chasing
got a quick fastball that
Mariners have a deep lineup, man. I mean, I know Robles isn't the best hitter in the world, but
pitcher. Is he so short
both these teams really have underrated lineups, deep lineups, 2 of the deeper lineups in the AL. It's not surprising at all. This was my pick for what the ALCS was going to be, so I'm not surprised to be sitting here watching this series right now. I think these are the 2 best teams in the American League. I thought the Tigers had a decent chance all year long, but not to be. What does that say? Toronto Blue Jays 1 for 42 in 3rd inning or later. Wow. Man. So they start a little hot and then cool right off.
To begin the 3rd, Ernie is 1 for 7.
That's crazy. They're such a streaky team, though. That's part of why I worry, especially against the Dodgers. Like, if they win and they have to play the Dodgers, oh, no. I really don't know if the Blue Jays can handle the Dodgers in that hypothetical matchup. The Dodgers are so consistent. The Dodgers are such a more consistent team than the Blue Jays. And that's why I think the Mariners are still good in this series, too. The Blue Jays just stop. The Blue Jays can hit, but they just stop hitting for long stretches of time. Let's see if they can pick it up here, though. Down 2-0. They need to get it start working now. There we go. Down the line. That's a double for Clement. No shock. It's always Ernie Clement. What a grinder, man. What a great grinder.
They've got to figure out a way to get at least one here.
Jimenez, underrated player. Fly ball, right. That's in the gap. Hey, that's getting over. 2-2. Big shot for the Blue Jays. Big home run for the Blue Jays. Right back in it. Andres Jimenez, he is a good player. Lefty hitting shortstop, great defender. Former Cleveland Guardian, always been big on Andres Jimenez. That's a nice pickup for the Blue Jays. And again, a deep lineup. That's 8 and 9 hitter. Ernie Clement is a really nice bat-to-ball guy who can get on base for you, play a good second base. And Andres Jimenez, slick hitting, lefty shortstop, clearly has a little pop. Yes, sir. Springer out to right. Robles has that. Maybe. Yes.
Protects that shoulder as best he can. That looked a whole lot like the play that knocked him out for most of the year back in San Francisco 2 weeks in. Lucas rips a base hit.
Lucas up the middle, top 3. This game's getting going.
His 4th hit the last 2 games.
Vladdy stepping. Took that early step on it. Off the wall. Almost put it over the wall. I want to see the contact on that again. That was a really good job of Vladdy getting his foot up early and beating the pitcher to the spot. A lot of times, hits are decided by getting that leg up early and just beating the pitcher to the pitch. See? That toe tap there. He really got out in front of that breaking ball and was able to cover it off, especially when it went over the middle of the plate. He's lucky that that ball didn't go out. Just missed it on the bat. That could have been a bomb.
Well, no sooner did I spit it out of my mouth.
Second and third, and that's big for the Blue Jays to have Vladdy back hitting.
If you leave a slider, middle in,
Santander,
he can launch
2 guys on, 1 out. Can he put 1 in the air? It's on the ground. No movement. Vladdy stays at third. Naylor back to first, 2 outs.
Tried to get it up, didn't get it up enough, but
still an open base. Toronto still looking for a big hit. Huge moment for Kirby here. Huge moment for the Mariners. This feels big right here. Ball 4. All right, well, they fill the open base. Maybe you don't want to go after Kirk there. There are better guys to go after. Maybe Dalton Varsho isn't the best guy. All these guys can do damage. He swung at it, but it's in the dirt, and they're going to score a run. 3-2 Blue Jays. That's unlucky for the Mariners. Tough ball to handle there for Raleigh. Look at where it hits the ground. Yeah, it just hits right off the plate. I don't know. He could have squared it off with his body with the underhand approach, but instead he goes backhand. That's always tough for a catcher.
Short hop and catches the top of his glove.
Oh, and that's driven. Is that trouble for the Mariners? It is. It's off the wall. It's going to be 5-2. Nothing Robles can do. That caroms off the wall, and Dalton Varsho with a big 2-run double, and it's 5-2 Toronto. And that's going to do it in terms of a successful start for George Kirby. That's 5 runs for the Blue Jays. And again, they're a streaky team, but they can always do this. And being on the road, they clearly had an assignment set for them. They needed to win this game. It's a must-win game. And so far, every must-win game the Blue Jays have had, they've won. And they've sparkled in large part. That offense is just fantastic. When they get hot, they can get hotter than any offense in the league, it seems like, at least in terms of being streaky and scoring runs. But the Mariners can kick it up to a whole other level. The Mariners have power and the ability to hit the ball in the air up and down the lineup in the way the Blue Jays never will. It's a really interesting offensive tactical matchup in this series. Julio looking for an infield single, definitely. And he's on with 2 outs. It's only the 3rd inning. Unbelievable how much action there's been in this game so far. Can the Mariners get another rally going? It's hit deep in the air to center field, but they're going to get out of that. Varsho's there. That's going to end the inning.
Try to limit the damage and give them as many innings, quality innings as possible. You don't want to just go to relievers as fast as you can in this long series.
They're up 2-0. They're keeping Kirby out there, and George Springer to center. I think that's going out. It is going out. It's 6-2. George Springer with another bomb in the playoffs. And it's a 4-run lead. And tough day for George Kirby continues. They're a fastball hitting team. Yes, sir.
In the top of the 4th.
Don't leave that shit over the plate. Ding dong. Flat hands, flat contact. It's all about exit velo over launch angle with the Blue Jays, man. They're just trying to hit the ball hard. They're just trying to hit the ball. They're just trying to hit the ball flat out. But if they hit the ball hard, all the better.
Just 1 base runner in the 2 innings since. As Beavers collected 4 Ks in that stretch.
Naylor, they need to get something going. Not swinging at shit like that. Swinging at shit like that is not going to get you back in the game. Suarez, ground ball. Right to third. Barger. Across the diamond. Piss missile to the throw. 2 outs. And they're out of it. Hack and a miss. Blue Jays look like they're cruising now. Shane Bieber's still on the mound. 4-run lead. And the Mariners have got to stop him from adding more. And I don't like how long they're hanging on Vladdy here. And that's a bomb. Oh, Rodriguez almost comes down with it, but it's a 5-run lead for Toronto in the 5th. And they're going to have to take George Kirby out up on the top step. Vladdy doing the big skip and a jump. Did the skip and the jump at shortstop. He didn't even wait till he was at third base like Tatis. Skipping and jumping halfway between second and third. He almost got it, man. Julio's a great center fielder. He's come down with some crazy catches in his career. Almost had that one. But George Kirby, man, it's just not working. Vladdy is getting that foot down and beating him to the spot every time. He's got a really good read on just his pitching rhythm and when he's going to come to the plate. His timing is really, really in sync. And it's a walk to Santander, and Kirby just keeps on allowing base runners, and he's going to get taken out of the game. And Vladdy, so far, 2 extra base hits. And it's been just the turnaround the Blue Jays needed. Looks like they're going to make this series 2-1. Mariners are going to go to the pin and try to limit the damage. Kirk up the middle, it sneaks through, and it just keeps snowballing for the Mariners. They're going to have to put a stop to this at some point, or it's going to get out of hand. But, you know, they're up 2 games in a series. At some point, you do expect them to just kind of throw it away. It looked like that was going to get through Robles for a minute, like he had a weird beat on it. Going to third, they get the out at third. It's 8-2, though. Decent relay play there by the Mariners, but Ernie Clement, another really simple piece of hitting, just puts the ball through the hole. And it's another run for the Blue Jays, who just keep producing. Like I said before, man, the Blue Jays are a very tactical offense. They always game plan. They help each other out. They have a really good sense of where they are in the game and what they need to do. And Arozarena just hit into a tailor-made double play. Never mind, he beats it out at first base. Randy's got some underrated speed, but they get Cal Raleigh on the fastball. Shane Bieber just mano-a-mano. That's got to feel good, blowing away the MVP with your heater. While your own offense has been banging heaters the entire game. Jimenez through the right side. Ooh, and Springer the other way. Robles does not look like he's getting that one. That's going to dump in. That's going to get a couple bases. Jimenez is going to stay at third. Springer only gets first, but it's another rally for the Blue Jays. And the Mariners are just going to have to keep going to the depth of their bullpen here to try to stem the bleeding. But this feels like it's over to me. They're going to get the out at first. He tried to get out of the way. That was goofy. But the run does score, Jimenez. And it is 9-2 Blue Jays as they walk Vladdy.
Contact with the power. Kirk quiet a couple games in.
And here comes Alejandro
Kirk. Singled today.
Well, if the score
We got
holds
the bases
up,
loaded.
they have half of their job that they have to
For
guarantee.
Kirk. They're giving
They
Kirk a
gotta win
lot
2
of camera
games to
angles
at
here on these
least
highlights.
get
There's
back
2
to
guys on
Toronto.
base. That ball's going
Hits
over
it
the
high
fence.
and deep
There's
right
no
field.
way.
Racing
That's a
back
ball.
Robles
Yep.
at
Gone.
fence, climbs
Into the
along,
front row.
and
It's
scores!
12-2.
Make it a dozen for the Blue Jays.
This is a Toronto Blue Jays game, man. When the Blue Jays get the home runs, they can just pile the runs up, just like they did on the Yankees. It's just nuts how streaky they are. If they could do this every game, there'd be no doubt who was going to win the World Series. Every time the Blue Jays play a good game and have an offensive performance like this, you just think there's no way they can be beat. But you just got to worry they're putting too many runs into this one game. I know that sounds stupid, but that just feels like how it is with the Blue Jays. That was an amazing cutter by Bieber right under the hands of Rodriguez. No chance. And it's just trying to do a little too much with a 10-run deficit. Polanco really trying to leg it out there, but a nice play on the hole by Jimenez. As the Blue Jays continue to play underrated defense, it's been another big part of their success. There's Vlad Guerrero. Fantastic stuff. And the Blue Jays are having a great, great game, but they're going to have to come out and have another one tomorrow. They're going to have to come out and play a game like this tomorrow, and then it'll look real good for them. They're going to have 2 games, games 6 and 7, if they can get there in Toronto. Curveball, and it's the 4th hit for Guerrero, who you can tell he's looking for 3, but he's going to break it down with a 10-run lead in the 8th inning. 4-hit day for Vladdy. How about that? IKF loving it. He saw that ball get to the wall. Kind of a lazy play out there in center, though, by Julio. I bet he saw it and just started booking it.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Raleigh can't find it.
Gets away, Vlad to third. They're about to get a 13th run. Strike 3.
Pitches around the leadoff
Jackson
double.
strikes out Dalton Varsho.
Lineup for the Mariners. A lot of
Guerrero
guys
doesn't
with
matter.
postseason play, including
Arozarena gets on it. That's out. You would have liked to see that earlier in the year, but Arozarena.
Randy Arozarena, 27 home runs during the regular season.
And it's 12-3. There's his first of the playoffs.
And it's now the Blue Jays.
Again, you would have liked to see it earlier. You would have liked to see it earlier in the playoffs from Randy, who's been white hot in the playoffs before, but he gets on top of that pitch and gets it up over the fence. Knew it right off of that.
Their 3 runs. Julio with a 2-run blast back to the first inning.
A home run for Arozarena, by the way, his first one.
Measured use of the trident down 9 runs.
September 9th.
Don't want to be too
hitless the last 2.
Woo! Cal Raleigh adding to the show, helping out your parlay. 12-4. Don't get injured out there and right. It's back-to-back for the Mariners. Yariel Rodriguez surrendering some pop to the Mariners, but these solo home runs only mean so much. Hit them home runs tomorrow when you got boys on base and you'll have a 3-1 lead in this series. It's nice to actually see the Mariners still providing the power. It makes me believe in them tomorrow, especially if they can get some good pitching and keep the Blue Jays off the bases. But again, like I said, when the Blue Jays get the hits, the timely hitting and the home runs from their power hitters. It's hard to stop. And you got a 4-for-4 from Guerrero with 3 extra base hits. Again, it's just going to be hard to stop. It's going to be hard to win the game. Mariners fans with the rally shoes instead of the rally hats. It's funny, but you're down 8 runs. I don't really know how hopeful it's going to be. You're also up 2 games in the series. Like, how much is at stake? Some empty seats here late in the game. Understandable, you pay all that money for a playoff ticket. They get blown out, and they're still getting blown out. I didn't know Addison Barger had pop like that. Almost looked like it was going to the second deck and ends up deep in the first deck. 13-4 Toronto. It's a 13 spot for the Blue Jays. Again, exactly what the Blue Jays needed. 5 home runs, tied most in a single postseason game in franchise history. I'm no Blue Jays expert, but I'm guessing that 5 home run, they just tied a record they set last week against the Yankees in all probability. Wonder what all those postseason jacket patches are on the back of the jacket. I do prefer the Trident to the jacket, of course. I think the Trident is a much cooler home run prop than the jacket. Yankees have never had a home run prop, I don't think. Ronald Torreyes. Ronald Torreyes was a human home run prop back in the day, to be fair, though. 0 outs. They need something. Line drive, base hit. I don't think that was Josh Naylor. Was that Josh Naylor? That's not Josh Naylor, bro. That's somebody else. Suarez, strike 3. On the cutter, Fluharty gets him. Funky angle, man. It looks like it's weird seeing the ball out of his hand. He's kind of got a weird sidearm delivery. Nice play by Guerrero to get Mitch Garver, and it's 1 more out for the Toronto Blue Jays to make this a 2-1 series. And there it is, right to Guerrero. And we just got to see something from the Brewers tomorrow in L.A., and we'll have a couple championship series on our hands. But this one could turn into a classic, especially if the Blue Jays slow down a little bit tomorrow. If it's a tight game tomorrow, I just want there to be some close games in this series. There hasn't been a close game yet, really. But I just have a feeling we're going to get at least one. I have a feeling that the Blue Jays can win another game in Seattle, especially after how easily they won this one. They might not win tomorrow, but I think you put their backs up against the wall again. You get them down 3-1. They're gonna have another offensive outburst like this. I don't think it matters who the Mariners pitchers are. The Blue Jays are clearly a team that can knuckle down and do their job and string hits together, string rallies together. But it was also encouraging, 13-4. It was a blowout. You don't like to see that scoreline from the Mariners, and it's not encouraging at all from a pitching perspective, obviously. But the Mariners still got power. They got home runs from Rodriguez and Raleigh. You like to see if they can still put the ball over the fence. It's just a matter of timing. You know, the Mariners need to get a few more guys on base before they hit those home runs, and they can make a run at a Blue Jays team. Maybe not a Blue Jays team that's putting it all together like they were today, but you know the Mariners are capable of scoring 8-9 runs if they can get walks on, if the Blue Jays can make mistakes, and the Blue Jays have made mistakes in the past. But I think this game demonstrates more than anything that this series comes down to the Blue Jays. This series is really about the Blue Jays offense and how much the Blue Jays offense can both be limited by Seattle and limited by themselves. It's a Blue Jays offense that can go as far as their chemistry can take them. It's just that some nights it seems like that chemistry is red hot, and some nights it just goes away like Game 1 of this series. And if this team found some consistency, I think that not only can they come back and win this series, but they can give the Dodgers a run for their money in the World Series. Right now, though, the Blue Jays offense, it's still too streaky, and the sad truth is it's been too streaky all year. So do I think the Blue Jays can come back and win this series? Absolutely. Am I still picking the Mariners? Also, absolutely. Do I think the Blue Jays can beat the Dodgers if they get to the World Series? No. And I think the Mariners actually are in a much better position to beat the Dodgers, even after this game. I just trust the Mariners' big players to come through when it matters most, just a little more than I trust the Blue Jays. Vladdy, I trust. I trust Vladdy, but on a down game, on a bad game, it just seems like the Ernie Clements, the Jimenezes, the Santanders, all those guys, they just go a little bit colder when the middle of that order is not hitting. You know, the Blue Jays rise and fall together. I've said that in so many different ways, and but it's true. It's an offensive unit. It's a unit, and you know, naturally that's a blessing and a curse. So let's see what the Blue Jays can do, and let's see if the Blue Jays can stop the Mariners from clinching the first pennant in franchise history. Which, I mean, I don't know if I can be rooting for a team in a championship series any harder. It would be. It's a very, very distant possibility, but wouldn't a Brewers Mariners World Series be so cool for all the baseball nerds out there? Don't know how the ratings would be, but man, that would be a fun one. Two teams that have never won a championship before vying for their first ring. So hit that like and subscribe, guys. Any positive feedback is appreciated. We'll get back to the breakdown videos. I just wanted to do a reaction video tonight in the little time I had to film. So you hit that like and subscribe and keep supporting for more baseball content. I'll be back with more baseball content, off-season content, Yankees content, and of course my combat sports content, gaming content as well. Do all sorts of stuff on the channel. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.